Look at that. We're live.
We're
That's
live, Vinnie. Good morning.
good morning, Michael Knight. How the heck are you down there in Pasadena, California?
Well, as you know, I've been suffering and fighting insomnia, and we had a bout last night. So this morning I woke up or last night failed to go to sleep. This morning I tried to snooze but couldn't on the couch. And then Pete Hegseth came on the television, and he was so full of methamphetamine that it transferred to me. I'm wired. I feel unhappy about it, and I got Pete coursing through my veins.
Well, you know,
That's one confused, messed up guy.
what's a guy look like Pete Hegseth look like when you haven't slept all night, and then all of a sudden he comes on and he's like all like pumped. Um,
He looks like he's been dosed to me. I'd say somebody dosed him with some Go Fast.
it's kind of funny because I remember those days, and that's exactly what guys that and people, not just guys, people that did drugs that woke you up. There were two kind of drugs. There was the goofballs, the two and alls, the second alls, and
Soapers. You used to call them soapers in New York.
the ones that got you were sitting there, and Quaaludes were the king of the castle. Speaking about kings, and those things were like two of those, and it was like you were out drinking all night. And then you had
The
the other
slightly
drugs.
faster variety. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's really
The
go.
speed and the diet pills, the black beauties, and the I don't know what were the other ones? Yellow jackets.
First
Black
one to
beauty.
Denver wins.
Yeah, they just had a ton of of different drugs that would wake you up, and many people use the sleepy drugs to put you to sleep at night, and the wakey drugs to wake you up in the morning.
Because when you wake up after sleepy drugs, you're not quite awake.
No, no, no. Many people wake up after sleepy drugs, and they've done various studies on this at SU, Spolpakia University.
It's a beautiful school. I love
Oh,
their.
it's the
I love
hallowed
their.
halls.
I love the senior quad.
Yeah, yeah. It actually fits. The senior quad is an actual 4-wheel drive vehicle that they drive to the center of town, and all the seniors that go to Spolpakia University jump in it, and they go for a ride somewhere.
You can't get into the portal and go to another university because there isn't one.
No, there's nowhere else to go. You either go
Spolpakia,
there,
Spolpakia all the way.
the study that was done, not many people know about this study, was everybody north of 66 was given alert awakey drugs to get you awake. Everybody south of Route 66A was given sleepy drugs.
Where did they meet?
Well, and then there's that strip of land that's between 66A and 66.
The frontage
They
road.
weren't given any drugs.
Oh, that's a shame.
They were just told to go about your normal life.
That's horrible advice.
And between those three groups, and they also brought in a bunch of kids from Teaneck, New Jersey, who use Stridex.
Good idea. Damn good idea.
Yeah, they were pimple free, and they said, let's give a trip to Spolpakia. The weather's nice, the fares are cheap, and Alaska Airlines flies there now.
Do we get to meet Dick Clark? Do we get to meet Dick Clark after the show?
He's not meeting many people these days.
Yeah, I know.
See, what they didn't tell him is that he would stay young looking forever, but
ever.
But his organs, his internal organs, everything else was still going to age.
That's a show. Well,
so he died looking 15 years old.
You win some, you lose some. You reminded me of Dr. Guido Sarducci, who said, forever and ever.
Forever and ever.
Now, is this going to be forever, Vinny, or is this going to be forever and ever?
Forever and ever.
Well,
whatever happened to him? How is Don DeVello?
He's living in Fairfax, as far as I know.
Talk
Fairfax,
about a guy
California.
that came up with a bit, huh?
That's a bit.
Talk about a
He's
guy.
a columnist for the Tattler page for the papal newspaper.
Osservatorio Vaticano, the
Yeah,
Vatican Observer. Sorry,
and
I'm so into my cream of wheat this morning.
go right ahead. I have something to balance out the Pete Hegseth story. It's the opposite side of the spectrum. I saw it on Morning Joe, which I watched live this morning at 3 a.m. And it had to do with a playoff game in the National Hockey League conducted in Buffalo, New York, with the Sabres playing the Boston Bruins. Now, why they played "O Canada" before that game, I don't know. I guess it's because they were broadcasting to
They do before
Canada.
all hockey games, I believe.
Well, this is what happened. Two words into the song, the gal's microphone goes out, and the crowd in Buffalo picks it up instantly. And they sing, the Buffalo crowd, the Sabre crowd, sing "O Canada" at the top of their lungs with gusto and feeling. And there wasn't a dry eye in the house. And they finished it with the big note and standing ovation. It was an extraordinary thing to see, especially the same day that the King of England speaks and tells us a few little homilies and interesting stories to Republicans who had never heard such talk before. And the Commonwealth of Great Britain and the United Kingdom, represented by the great country of Canada, earning the respect of the people of Buffalo, New York, by the singing of their national anthem when the facilities couldn't support it. It was a heartwarming and wonderful thing to see. Fabulous.
Well, don't you know the lyrics to "O Canada"?
I know some of them, but I couldn't sing it word for word. I know the tune.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a catchy little tune. In my history as a national anthem singer at the game,
Did you sing it?
baseball games, I've sung. I've actually been called on to sing because I do know the words to the Canadian national anthem and know them bilingually in French and English.
Zut alors.
So I've been called upon a couple of times by the Tacoma Rainiers way back when to sing them.
Did you sing it or did you sing it?
I sang the hell out of it, baby.
Had a baby. I know you would, Vin.
I sang the hell out of it. And I love I love our song too for different reasons. But the "O Canada" song is just such an easy song to sing.
And it's built right. It's built with anticipation and release. And
although I gotta say that there's no national anthem that moves me as much as La Marseillaise.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, and it's probably because of that scene in Casablanca,
right?
That is almost like when Harry Bailey comes home in It's a Wonderful Life. You know, you just get or the people dump the money on the table for Harry Bailey, for George Bailey, I should say. Sam Wainwright. Plastics.
Got one word for you.
One word. Plastics. I'm telling you, George.
As it turns out, you need to open the Strait of Hormuz to make plastics.
Well, yeah, or have fertilizer. It's good, you know, and I hope you'll be okay with this, Michael. I kind of want to stay away from politics as much as we can. I know there's so much stuff going on but boy, I'd sure like to just have a day where we just didn't go into politics as much today.
Well, how about the inspiration? Did you see the King speak?
Part of it. Yes. It's amazing how eloquent he's gotten, isn't it?
At least Borowitz today said Republicans rebel against man using complete sentences.
Yeah, I mean, I never was a big Prince Charles guy. I always thought he was kind of goofy,
I understand.
but he looked like a king standing up there. He looked like what you would think. I mean, obviously they didn't dress him up in the crown and the robes, which I thought he should have worn.
It would have been nice.
It would have been nice to see him. Let him wear the robe, let him wear the crown. He's a king.
Did you see what happened at the reception that night?
No.
The king and Camilla, the queen, were shaking hands with members of the gathered people, and Trump cuts between them, cuts her off, and starts shaking the hands that they were going to shake. Shakes them all, turns around, and shows him to the dais. You're through. Follow me over here.
He's such a pig.
It was so rude. It was so childish. It was so needy, so infantile, so godly.
He's such a pig. There's just not an ounce of class in him.
No manners. His parents taught him nothing.
There's just no there's I mean, even I don't know. I get sick of arguing with people about him.
What about the ballroom? I'm pro ballroom, boy. Let's build a ballroom on every building in America. I think we should build a ballroom on my apartment right here. We could knock out this wall and start building it now.
Well, you saw. I'm sure you saw my my social media post yesterday. Before we build a ballroom, we ought to make sure that we have metal detectors in every school in America. Before we give $400 billion to Donald
or $1.
Trump, huh?
Give him nothing. Give him not $1. Give him nothing.
Well, that's what Lindsey Graham and the Republicans are now doing today. They're introducing legislation that the government should participate in the funding of the previous. You ever notice how none of this stuff that Donald Trump says is not going to cost us any money winds up costing us money and doesn't get done for some reason or the other?
Never gets done, never gets finished, never gets paid for.
It's just it's
like his medical plan. He'll have it in 2 weeks.
He's not going to have anything. And the problem is, Michael, is that you can't believe anything that anybody says in the government.
If he's talking, he's lying.
And that's not a good thing. That just, to me, just doesn't portend good for the future of the country. If you can't have full faith and credit in the government, what do you have? Can you run a democracy? Can you have a democracy? I mean, the basic thing is people have to be able to believe in what the government is saying. And the way you get them,
you got to just believe.
Them to believe you is you do the things that you say you're going to do.
They can't do that.
And
they will not do that.
Don't see it. And somewhere along the line, people thought it's a better idea to get us all as a citizenry to believe lies than to stop lying.
Or at least to be distracted. If you want to know what's going on with Epstein, you can't go to Epstein files because, we have a war. We can't finish the war because, we have an assassination attempt. We can't do the assassination attempt because Pete Hegseth can't find his tie. We can't finish the war. We can't open the straits. We can't support Ukraine. We can't get out of our own way. We can't find out which FBI agent or Secret Service guy shot the other guy. He got hit by a single bullet, not a shotgun blast, and they can't figure out what gun it came from.
We can read a cryptic message that probably means nothing, that the FBI director, former FBI director, was walking along a beach and saw, and we can indict him for attempting to assassinate the president
with a seashell.
With seashells. Is it just the most fucking ridiculous thing you've ever heard of?
It's quite something.
If somebody made this a movie, nobody would ever believe it.
Well, first of all, no one could follow it. Your movie's a mess. Every time you have a scene, the next scene has nothing to do with the last scene. That's the beauty of it. That's how we keep them distracted. That's how Lindsey Graham stays focused.
If you took this into Cubby Broccoli, he'd
No, ain't gonna fly.
he'd laugh at you.
Where's
By the
James
way,
Bond?
Cubby Broccoli, a famous movie producer, his father. What was his father's? I forget his father's name, but Cubby was the son, I believe. And
I think it was Hollandaise was his father's name.
yeah, Hollandaise Broccoli.
Yeah.
They went together for a long time. Oh no, that was his mother.
She was in on the deal.
She was cheese sauce. Oh man, it's unbelievable. And now Jimmy Kimmel is in a pissing war again.
Yep.
They got Stephen Colbert to go. Now they're going to try to do their best to get Kimmel to go. Jimmy Fallon. Does anybody even watch that show anymore?
Not even Jimmy. Jimmy Fallon doesn't even show up, and no one notices. Where's Jimmy? Well, he said he was coming, but he's not. Well, we'll do without him. We got a band. We got some guests. Let's go.
Yeah, it's crazy. Saw the Jackson Michael movie.
Oh boy!
Monday night.
Did you have fun?
Well, it was a made-for-TV movie.
Oh, Lifetime channel.
Yeah, it was it really was the Lifetime version of what the Michael Jackson story is. It highlighted all the good stuff, threw a little bit in there about the abusive behavior of his father, which really in the movie wasn't shown to be that abusive. I mean, he hit him with a strap. What kid in 1966 didn't get hit with a strap? Most did. Many did.
Many did.
Many did.
It's funny, those days are gone, but they were there.
They were there. Yeah, they were there. If you came in late or you did something bad,
spare the rod, spoil the child.
Yeah, you got it all across the ass. I got it. My sisters got it. It was just the way kids were raised in those days.
And in return, we got to stay out till dinner time.
Yeah. And in return, they sent you away to college.
Or a military academy.
So I thought the movie was good. I thought the kid that was doing the Michael Jackson role did a nice job. I guess he's a relative.
Could he sing? Or was he singing?
I don't know if he was, but I found the funniest part of the movie to be the chimp.
Oh, no.
Because the chimp was AI. There's nobody that's not going to tell me that the chimp wasn't AI created. And it looks it.
Done by the same people who do Toy Story.
Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, it was done by Lucasfilm. Or Industrial Light and Magic, right?
Yeah.
And so I mean, I give it like a C+. Worth watching especially if you lived through that time, especially if you were not a Michael Jackson, but a Jackson 5 fan, because it gives a lot of explanation about the brothers.
Those poor brothers.
And it goes into
it's a cautionary tale about fame in a way, isn't it?
No, because it doesn't show anything negative.
Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the drug abuse isn't portrayed.
No, there is no business like show business, like no business I know.
Yeah, there is a lot of negative stuff portrayed. Certainly nothing about the rumors of child molestation. The closest they come to it is a scene where he's in Toys R Us, and he starts talking to this kid, and starts talking about Nintendo or something like that, or Atari, and how they both like the video games. And I guess that was one of the things that Michael found in common with some of the kids that he invited over to his house. But you had to, I mean, it was a funny scene where he's walking a llama.
Like you do.
Down some street in, I forget which town.
Encino.
Encino, yes, thank you. So it was worth watching. I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad I paid $5 to see it instead of
15.
20, 15
Yeah.
or 20. Thank you to T-Mobile for that.
A little discount for first run films.
Yeah, they have a deal with a couple of ticket things. And on Tuesday they came out with their you want to go see Michael. Here's a chance for you to go
It's
see
great.
Michael.
You saw it in the theater?
Yeah.
That's good. It gets you out of the house, gets you in there to buy some popcorn. And
Yeah, well,
you're not streaming it at home.
Yeah, they have this really nice theater by my house that you can go and sit down and eat a meal and watch the movie. You can order yourself a hamburger or salad or a pizza or whatever, and or just popcorn and pretzels. Movie candy, whatever you want. And it's quickly become one of my favorite movie theaters because there's a lot of room between the seats. You could sit back and rest and enjoy the movie. My daughter and I love going there to watch the movies. I think probably the last 5 or 7 movies I've seen in a row, I've seen at that movie.
I got some media news for you that'll go with your movie story.
Okay.
KNX is the all news station in Los Angeles.
Yes.
It used to be owned by CBS, now it's owned by Odyssey. It was AM for years, 50,000 watts at 1070. Then they took over the Jack FM signal at 97.1 and had a huge FM signal that hit Orange County all the way to Ventura County. They're going to pull the plug on the news and turn it into sports in 1 month.
Well,
taking the only all news station in town off FM, leaving it at 1070 AM only, and turning it into The Fan. Sound familiar? CBS is doing it again. They got 22 of them. This will be the 23rd. And they made an announcement only about the management. Who's going to be the market manager? Who's going to be the logistic thinker and the planner? And they made no mention of the program director, and they hired no staff so far, or no announcement of staff hiring. And they're going to be on the air in a month.
Well, I mean, that's about what it takes. I mean, I think that's how long it took them to put The Fan in Pittsburgh on the air. It was about a month, maybe a little bit longer.
At least you had a staff.
Well, yeah. They went out and they hired the people that they wanted. I wouldn't think that they would have any trouble getting staff in LA.
Well, there's 3 sports stations already, but they're all AM. 570 for the Dodgers at KLAC, 710 for ESPN, KPSN, and I can't remember, I think 800 something, 88 for KLAA, which is owned by the Angels and broadcast Angels games.
Right.
Out of Gesundheit.
Yeah, and they have a formula. They use that formula. I thought the big news that I was really interested in was the fact that Sirius XM is making a bid for Odyssey.
I thought they were going to merge with iHeart.
Or was it iHeart? Excuse me. I might have mixed that up. So you're going to have a very large radio company. It probably shows you that somebody still believes in radio.
Somebody should. But I thought the iHeart and Sirius thing was going to be a merger instead of a takeover.
Might be. To be honest with you, I saw it and I looked at it and I said, okay, great.
It was a bad idea for both companies.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's a bad idea because iHeart has a lot of podcasts, has a lot of content. It's all driven on content these days. How much content can you provide? And if you're a person that believes, maybe like I do, that the future of radio is in broadcasting high-profile 1-hour shows, podcasts with spice in the middle of them.
Can it be four guys in a room arguing about the score?
Well, that's what it could be. Or it can be Bill Maher sitting there having a conversation with somebody, or Mark Maron.
Getting high with a guest.
Or, Hillary Clinton. I mean, I'm amazed at how much younger people are into that kind of programming. If you want to start a radio station today to attract a young crowd, that's what I would do.
1 hour personality shows back to back.
I'd have 8 or 10 podcasts, one after the other, and then the next day have 8 or 10 different podcasts.
Oh.
And not have a strip show where it's, Wacky Jackie in the morning and his morning zoo crew. I think radio should give people a little more credit than they usually do.
So there won't be any dedicated listening with your format.
Well, I don't know that that's the way radio is. I think access to podcasts and how you can monetize them. And it seems that podcasts, if I was going into a store today to sell radio, I'd probably try to sell radio more than I try to sell a podcast. Easier than selling radio. If you had a podcast that was tailored to, do-it-yourself household stuff, well, you could probably go into a tool place or a Home Depot or something like that and sell that for more money and easier than you could Harvey Stone in his morning zoo.
You think cleaning pet stains off the couch and the carpet is a better show? It might be. What about the idea of when do they listen? If you
got crap on your couch, it probably is.
Time to see to it. What about the idea that they only listen on the way to work or to school? When do they listen to the podcast?
Well, yeah, I think if you do engaging conversation, people are going to listen, right?
Not after 6.
Well, no, I don't think anybody's going to listen to anything but sports after 6, to be honest with you, unless they're these hardcore right-wing
hate talk
participants.
Well, they own the AM dial. Coast to coast, they own the AM dial, hate talkers.
Yeah, they'll listen anytime because that's the only place where they can find. Well, it used to be the only place that can find people that hate as much as you do.
And plus people who are pro ballroom.
Yeah, if you got to find pro ballroom people, that's probably the only place you're going to be able to find them. I don't know. But I think that the face of radio or the sound of radio or what radio is changing. And is going to continue to change because the old model, I don't think, is making it. I don't have satellite radio in the car I'm driving this week, the Mazda. So I've spent the week listening to a lot of radio.
What's your favorite satellite station? I don't have satellite.
Boy, I like raw comedy. I like the uncensored comedy station a lot. I like listening to that. I love Seriously Sinatra. I like the 50s and 60s station. They play.
Is there a Sha-Na-Na station?
Well, that's probably your 50s station. Strange, there probably should be a Sha-Na-Na station, but there isn't. So that, and then I also like Richard Blade from First Wave.
He was a disc jockey down here at KROQ for years.
Yeah, he's been on that, and then my favorite.
I said down here. That means they'll know I'm from up there.
Yeah, exactly. I
I need a nap.
You can't get rid of down here. You're not gonna. It's like me. I can't get rid of out west. I've lived out west for how many years, with the exception of 10, but I still can't get rid of the out west.
That's where it is. It's out there.
And musically, Underground Garage. Little Steven,
Steven, yeah. Great.
Yeah, Little Steven and Kid Leo and the gang over there is put together.
We also do a show about producers.
The best music station.
Yeah.
That I've ever heard. And it's so simple in the fact that they give you information about the song.
Just talk about the music, baby.
So that you're smarter, you know more about the song than you ever would have listening to regular radio.
I heard Andrew Loog Oldham used to have the early Stones, Rolling Stones producer, had a show with Little Steven. I don't know if he still does.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else is on there right now. There's Slim Jim Phantom has a show. Michael Desbars has a show.
What does he play?
He plays. Well, they all play music that's all over the place, except the guy on Sunday morning that does a British show. He plays a lot of, obviously British stuff. And Slim Jim does a lot of rockabilly.
Of course.
But it's, it gives you a context of the music.
Where it came from, where it's going, why it's there, who did it.
It gives you the producers. It gives you the people that wrote the song. It gives you a little bit of history. And I don't care if it's written out by somebody or not. I don't care that the jock knows it or was there when it happened. I care that they're giving me the information.
Right.
And they're doing something that you probably haven't heard since, the old days of progressive FM radio.
You like Ronnie, but do you know why you like Ronnie and the Ronettes?
Yeah.
Because of this, because of that, because of how they got signed, because of how they auditioned, where they grew up. Are they Jersey girls or are they city girls?
I mean, you know that the opening boom, 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 boom is Hal Blaine, because
that's right.
You're told it on Little Steven's Underground Garage. Who is Hal Blaine? Well, chances are you found out on Little Steven's Underground Garage.
Why is he important? Well, because hell of a drummer.
Who is the Wrecking Crew?
They made 3 hits a day, every day, for 10,000 days.
Yeah, they were the most influential group of musicians. Well, no, I take that back. They're not influential. They were the most heard. They played what everybody set down in front of them.
Right.
I knew a lot. I know a lot more now about Carole King,
bass player,
than I ever did before. And what her story was, and it's fascinating to be a woman in that scenario, which was by far an all-male club,
boys' club. Boy, they love Carole though. She was a member.
She was, they for whatever reason, accepted her with open arms. She was all of their little sisters, I guess.
And a hell of a player.
But I think that's, that now I don't know if the average guy driving a pickup truck wants to hear that. But as somebody who loves music and loves the
magic of it
and the sophistication of it and the players who were there and so on and so forth, I love hearing those stories. I love
Vinnie, that's a acquired art form, playing with studio players, and it's a lost art form because no one uses a studio anymore. Everybody records at home in their bedroom.
Yeah.
And so you don't have those guys to call upon, let alone find 3 guys who can play together.
Well, I think you find it in the people that try to recreate the old stuff, the Michael Bublé's, the Seth. Why am I forgetting his name? But the cartoon guy. There's just a bunch of people who are taking, musicians into the studio and trying to duplicate that sound of the early to middle 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
But that big studio sound, which I don't care, you can't get no matter how much you play with whatever program you're playing with.
Listen to the backing tracks of the Righteous Brothers sometimes. It's orchestral.
If you want to know what genius is, if you want to know what you can do with notes, if you want to know what you can do with using music to not manipulate, but to bring your mind to a certain place.
And then stranding it there.
And a lot of times leaving it there. You're right. Listen to the Righteous Brothers. Listen to Phil Spector, who I would imagine had 500 ways to come out of the chorus of "You've Lost That Love and Feeling," but yet went through them all before he got the right one that he knew somehow in his mind would take your mind to where he wanted to put it.
And nobody else, there wasn't two walls of sound. There was his wall of sound, and that was it. No, Biff Jiggerman down the way in his studio did not have his own wall of sound with 3 bass players and 3 pianos and 4 guitars, and 3 or 4 tambourine players.
Yeah,
you know who used tambourines? Phil Spector used tambourines, and Motown used the tambourine. They had a tambourine player for the Motown rhythm section.
Yeah, Brian Wilson tried to duplicate it and did successfully.
In his own way, right.
In his own way. It was a bit different than what Phil was doing. But
it was cleaner, sharper, more treble, more focus, more edge.
Yeah, he was a madder genius, I think. Well, I don't know. That's a good argument we could have. Who was the madder genius, Brian Wilson or Phil Spector?
Or the crazy world of Arthur Brown. He was mad. He was on fire.
You don't ever forget that record. For the first time you hear it, to any other time, that's a record that once you hear it, you don't forget it.
Fire.
To destroy all you've got. Do 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 do. And the video for that was great too. And in a day when they didn't do videos.
And they didn't talk about it a lot, but he was not the stable guy on stage when he went touring. He didn't do 60 days. He didn't make 60 days on the trail.
Yeah, he didn't seem to be somebody who you'd want to go out with after the show.
You can get a pizza, but keep your eye on it because that thing's going to be burning. It's going to be on fire before you know it. How do you know? Well, everything else is, baby. Keep your eye on Arthur.
Yeah, it's it's fun to have, and that's the great thing about Sirius Sirius XM is that you get, it's a music lesson if you listen to the right channels.
Right. Good point.
And you can get a format to fit almost any state of mind you're in. Whether you go from happy, joy, Taylor Swift, it's a beautiful day. Oh, my boyfriend just broke up with me. It's not all the way to, the goth kind of, there's something there for everybody.
The Smiths.
Oh, my God.
New Order.
I love the Smiths, man. Morrissey got my respect when he remade one of the great unknown Frankie Valli songs of all time.
What was that song?
The name of the song was "To Give," and it's a song that one day I was driving along and Richard Blade pulled it out, and I had to pull my car over because I couldn't believe.
I was stunned. I was shocked. I was apoplectic.
That I was hearing "To Give," because it was a song that I associated with Frankie Valli and his solo career, maybe his fourth release after I Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. But boy, oh boy. And sometimes you run into songs like that and musical pieces like that. So God bless iHeart and Sirius. I hope they have a nice marriage. I hope that it works out, and I hope that something happens in all these mergers and acquisitions that benefit the public.
Give Little Steven another show. Keep the Underground Garage and add one.
Well, I mean, he probably. I don't know how much Little Steven can take up, more he can take on than he has. I mean, he's touring. He does the Teach Rock thing, which nobody really talks about a lot, but his foundation to get music education in schools.
Right, because it's the first thing they cut.
Because it's been cut out of most schools.
They should say that right when you go to the school. I want you to know we screw the artists. Screw the artists. You're an artist. You're here at the school. Screw you, and screw what you want to do, and screw your subject, and screw what brought you here in the first place. Screw what makes you happy. Screw what makes other people happy. Screw the future. Just want you to know that. Welcome to AE Kent School.
God, I wonder if. Well, I know they don't teach it in marketing, but I wonder if that's what they teach you. You probably find that out the first day that you get to your job, and you're you're stuck with somebody from the front office to. Well, take him out on the road with you. Show him what A&R is all about, and then you find out.
It's about the artist and the repertoire. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and believe that, and we'll tell you another. How are your Giants doing?
Well, the Giants got cut from the list. The ESPN did a story on the worst teams in baseball: the Phillies, the Mets, and some team in the National American League that I can't think of. But the Giants they may stink, but they don't stink enough to be on the worst list. So they're just sort of in abeyance. They're out there flapping in the wind. And they've been winning a couple of games. They got some hits. They got some power. They got some pitching. And so they show promise. They're not dead. That's about the best that's the best report I can give you. They lost
for April 29th. That's not bad, though.
I told them it's early, but they said speak to the manager of the Red Sox or the Phillies and ask them if it's early.
Well, you can't find them.
They're hard to find. They're not answering their phone.
Yeah, you can't. Their phone. They've asked for their cell phone. The Phillies asked Rob Thompson for his phone back before he left the building.
And the Phillies interim manager is none other than Donnie Baseball.
Donnie Baseball. And you know who his boss is?
Jimmy Baseball.
Donnie Baseball Jr. His son,
Really?
I guess, is the director of baseball operations for
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
So it might be the first father-son management team.
I can't think of another.
Yeah, not off the top of my head.
Ty Cobb had a couple kids, but they were mean sons of bitches. You wouldn't want them in the front office.
No, I don't think you'd want them around.
Charlie Finley had a couple kids. You didn't want them pulling the trigger on any deal.
Who was Carl? Was Carl his cousin?
Carl Finley?
Yeah.
I
He used to run the A's. I mean, he was single-handedly the front office.
Might have been a half brother.
No, I don't think he was a brother. I think he was
a cousin.
Yeah, I think he was a cousin. But he was the guy. He was the guy that was running everything. Pretty basically what I got there.
Is he the one that tried to sell catfish cheap? Was that Charlie?
I think that was Charlie.
When's the last time the commissioner of baseball stopped a trade?
I can't remember.
That was a big trade. It was like 5 players.
Yeah, I can't remember when.
He said, "Charlie Finley, sit down. You're not doing it. I'm pulling the plug on those deals." That was, think how bold that was for a move from the commissioner. Whether right or wrong, think of a commissioner doing something that big today. With the Yankees, mind you. Yankees, you don't get those players. A's, you keep them.
Yeah, we
And
never
give Sal Bando a raise.
I couldn't imagine that that Rob Manfred would have the nerve to do something like that, because now he truly in those days the commissioner, even though he did work for the owners, did everything they could not to present the appearance that they worked for the owners. They gave the commissioner a lot of leeway in doing things and deciding things and in ordering people. I mean, could you imagine Rob Manfred telling a an owner like George Steinbrenner he had to stay away from his ball club for a year or 2 years? I forget how long the suspension was.
Actually, what happens is he goes to work and then he has to get on the line to George Steinbrenner, who tells him when he can go to lunch. Can I please go to lunch, Mr. Stein? No. Finish your calls. I'm hungry. You can eat tomorrow. Get to work.
Yeah, I mean that's, but in those days, people listened to the commissioner. The commissioner was regarded, was looked at as the ultimate authority in baseball. He could do everything but order people back to work after a strike. Everything else, he had like a magic wand. Poof. Could you imagine banning Pete Rose today? No, none of that stuff.
It wouldn't fly.
Yeah, none of that stuff would happen. Well, the Mets are still a mess. I don't.
But why are the Phillies a mess? There's some weird, non-productive.
Not playing good baseball. I mean,
they can't hit the ball. They can't find the ball. They can't catch the ball, and they can't throw the ball.
It happens to people, Michael. Sometimes teams go into slumps,
in a funk,
and
yesterday you were Parliament. Today you're Funkadelic. Sorry.
Yeah, try. I mean, sometimes it's not for lack of trying, or it's not for lack of talent. It's just that for whatever reason, you're not hitting the ball hard enough or right enough or where you're supposed to be hitting it, or you're making.
Maybe that's why they fired Thompson. They asked him what was going on. He said, "To tell you the truth, I don't know. They just can't win." He said, "That's not the answer we were really looking for. So, have you got a bag to put your stuff in, or can I get you one?"
Yeah, that'll be 16 cents for 2 bags.
It's $10.99.
Yeah, the Mets, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know that the owner of the team or the manager of the team or anybody that's on the team or any players or anybody knows what's going on. They're blaming it. The media, the sports media in New York, is blaming it as many places as you can look. It's Francisco Lindor's wife's fault. It's Mondami's fault. It's Cohen's fault. It's Gary Cohen's fault. It's Keith Hernandez's fault. I mean, pick somebody that's associated with the club, and the blame is going around to everybody, and nobody knows really what's going on.
And it's already fashionable to fire your manager. The Boston Red Sox have done it, and the Philadelphia Phillies have done it. Major teams with some problems then wants to keep anybody else from pulling the plug.
Well, I don't.
Plus, you can get Cora as your manager. He's available.
Yeah,
if that's what you want.
I don't know who needs him. You know what?
Right now, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that he'll be out there somewhere. I'm sure that some team will need a manager at some point in time. But it's unfortunately, as long as you keep the bobbleheads and the fireworks coming, people
Yeah.
will still go to the games.
There's something new coming to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani is going to pitch, but he's not going to hit, and that's the first time that's ever happened, right? And I know that
oh no,
the team's got an excuse for it or an explanation, but I don't understand that.
is it the first time that it's ever happened? See, I for some reason I thought that he had.
I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Oh, excuse me. I could be wrong about that. It might not be the first time, but it's happening, and it's a rare thing because giving that guy 3 or 4 ups is worth it to me.
Oh yeah, that would disappoint me if I was going to a game to see him hit, and he did not step up to the plate. I realized that he pays you money, you takes your chance, but
he does like to hit it 430 feet. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, can you give me another pair of tickets for a game where he's going to be hitting the ball or trying to hit the ball at least?
Right.
That's what I'd really like to see.
His swing is magisterial. It's extraordinary. The style of it. Nobody swings like him. Nobody uses the bat quite like that. It stands quite like that.
Yeah, he certainly has a unique. Well, his whole thing is unique. His whole persona, the whole thing is unique. And you know what? He has the luxury of having the ability to back it up.
Oh, he can back it up.
I mean, that's the thing is some guys when they come up, they're all talk and maybe they're good players. Ohtani is a great player.
He suits up and he shows up. And that's it.
Yeah. He's a player that you can rely on to make something happen. Whether it's with his arm or with his bat or I don't know, however it is.
That's what I like about winning teams. I don't like to emulate the Dodgers in any way, but I love what they do when they come to town. They hit the ball, they score runs. And I know that sounds simple, but the Giants yesterday decided that they would try to beat the Philadelphia team, who is in a down spiral and not playing their best. If they scored no runs, can we beat them? Actually, the answer turned out to be no. And it shouldn't be a surprise to the Giants because they've tried this many times over many years. And it turns out when you score no runs, the other team does have an advantage. Yes. And the Phillies beat the Giants. That's how the Giants decided that they weren't going to score any runs.
Well, I'm happy to say that the Mariners, which is the other team that we follow pretty closely here on this show, have. I'm not going to say that their troubles are over, their woes are gone, but Cal Raleigh has heated up as of lately. To where it didn't look like
they're not going to have to fire Dan Wilson.
So they wouldn't have to fire Dan. I don't think they'll fire Dan Wilson anyway, at least for the immediate time. But all of a sudden, Raleigh's hitting the ball. They're getting good pitching, and they took 2 out of 3 against St. Louis, and just took 2 out of 3 against the Twins. And so it appears that the Mariners are starting to put it together. And again, this part of the year, I'm not going to say that it doesn't matter, because how many times do we see that you miss it by the Mets last year missed the playoffs by 1 game. Any one of those games that they blew in April or May would have won them a spot in the National League playoffs, but they didn't, they couldn't, and they didn't go. That's simple.
It is just that simple.
Yeah, the Reds went instead. So I'm pretty excited about the Mariners hopefully finding their groove. And out of all the teams we're watching, that's the that's the team
with the most promise.
yeah, that right now, I'm getting the most enjoyment out of watching. You know, the Mets are just a drama, just a drama. It's just a drama of stuff going on with the Mets. Um, and I don't. Unfortunately, the Mets have turned into the Yankees of the '70s without the World Series appearances.
Well, we've reached that magic part of the day where we can say goodbye without having to say anything more about politics or the people who manipulate our imagination via their political state, or cut off the King of England and his queen at the reception line when you're supposed to be shaking hands.
Well,
He just couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand it any longer. He just butted in between them and took over shaking hands. He shook the hands of the people they were going to shake hands with, and then said, "That's it. We're through shaking hands. Come with me. We're going to over here and have our picture taken."
It's just such an insult to world leaders, and it's an insult to people that believe in tradition and class and valor and those kinds of things.
And being an orator.
If you don't care about that kind of stuff, well, then you're not bothered by it. I didn't see it, so I'm not bothered by it at the moment, but I'm sure that I'll go back and watch it. And thanks to you, it'll give me something else to be pissed off about today. And I was running out of things to be pissed off about.
It's a short list, but you got to keep refreshing it.
Well, that's it. The list gets shorter. My temperature wears thinner than the hair on my head. But it's if we didn't have these things to be upset about, what would we be upset about?
Well, we'll just make plans for a fractious Freaky Friday and let that be the end of it.
Michael, put yourself up in some nice salad oil, and then get out there in the go over to the Rose Bowl, go on the field, lie down on the field, and let the neighborhood animals come by and sniff you. And
the coyotes might do more than sniff me, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know, and get a couple hours of shut eye.
Have you seen this guy on Facebook that plays a pink guitar and sings to animals?
No.
He sings to rhinoceros. He sings to chimpanzees. He sings to penguins. He sings to any animal you can think of. He's got a nice voice, and they love him. They come over and they smell his guitar, and they want to get in it, and they want to know where the sound comes from, and they want to know what singing's all about. What are you doing? You're making that noise. And they get right up. He sings, and they get right here. A rhinoceros has his huge head and his horn right here, and he's going, "What is that? What are you doing? It's a nice song. I like that song." And they all show the wonder of animals and music. It's just fabulous. You'll love it.
I wonder is
pink guitar guy sings to animals.
I gotta see this. Maybe we have somebody that that we can get excited about. We need some people. We need some people that aren't doing politics to get excited about. That's what we need. By the way, the Mariners are leading the Twins 1-0 in the top of the third. J.P. Crawford has hit a solo home run.
Thank you, J.P. Good effort.
So we'll leave people on that note. Leave them in their happiness to enjoy your Seattle Mariners and everything else. And if the Lord's willing, the creek don't rise, Michael, I'll catch up with you here on Friday.
Look for us at 10:10 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on a patooter near you.
10:10 or thereabouts, as I always like to say now.
See you at the frontage road in Spopakia. Meet you at the frontage road.
Peace, love, Manischewitz, Michael.
What a wine, Vinnie. See you.
Take care, Mikey. Thank you all for listening, too. We always appreciate it.